A man named Mark shared a simple but inspiring story on his Facebook page. Mark worked at a store. One regular day, he was stocking shelves when a young boy caught his attention. A poor, barefoot boy entered the store and looked around uncertainly. Of course, he attracted the attention of all customers and staff. Everyone was wondering what the boy was doing there. Soon, they saw that he wasn't alone, but with a well-dressed man. It looked like the man was a foreigner, probably a tourist. Such a strange pair immediately attracted the attention of everyone around. At that point, nobody knew what the relationship was between the two very different people. But soon, things became clear. What the man did was amazing and inspiring. The store that the man entered with the barefoot boy, named Warren, sold sportswear by the famous brand Nike. The cost of a pair of shoes at the store was high, but that did not stop our protagonist. Mark wrote later that everyone immediately recognized the boy, but they didn't recognize the man who was with him. Warren stood outside of the store almost every day. Sometimes he would try to make money by selling flowers. Oftentimes, he simply begged for money. When Mark first saw Warren with a well-dressed foreigner, he didn't understand what was going on. He was surprised by what happened next. It turned out that the foreigner simply couldn't walk past the poor boy who stood barefoot on the cold concrete. He decided to make that day slightly better and happier for Warren. At first, the man bought all the flowers that the boy was selling. When he asked Warren how he planned on spending the money, his answer struck him. Warren said that his plan was to go and buy some food. He understood that the boy was in a difficult situation, so he decided to buy him lunch at a fast food restaurant. The boy was very grateful to the foreigner. He couldn't believe that someone would simply treat him to lunch. But friends, that wasn't all. A happy surprise awaited Warren that he will probably remember for the rest of his life. When this unusual pair entered the store, the workers didn't immediately understand what was about to happen. Mark and his coworker even exchanged confused looks when the tall man approached him to say that he wanted to buy a pair of good sneakers for the boy. Mark was shocked that a simple passerby would want to devote so much attention to a street child. I think it goes without saying that in most cases, people try to avoid street kids. They rarely give them change, not to mention expensive shoes, the cost of which can sometimes be several times higher than what a store worker makes. It's important to say that the boy himself was a little shocked. At first, he refused the sneakers, saying that he had nothing to repay the man with. He also expressed fear that the expensive shoes would be stolen, since he often sold flowers on the street nearby the shopping center, where there were always a lot of people. But the man said that he would be in town for a couple more weeks, and if something like that were to happen, he would buy him another pair of shoes. In short, the man was able to convince the boy to allow him to buy the shoes. The kind man let the boy choose his own pair. The boy was shy, but you could see that he was very excited. He studied one pair, then another, and another. He could not decide what to choose because the variety was so large. After 20 minutes, Warren made his decision and picked an interesting new model of sneakers. The unfolding scene aroused considerable interest among people at the store. At the time of the purchase, the store's owner, Ahugan Hierro, was also present. He too was amazed by the good-natured foreigner. When the time came to pay, Ahugan even gave the man a 40% discount and said that he had never witnessed such a thing in his life. The man responded to the stranger, "Look at how happy this boy is. For him, it's not just a pair of sneakers. For him, it's a dream come true. All I needed to make this happen was an hour of my time and $50. If I have an opportunity to do good for others, I let myself do them. It makes me feel happy and warm." Warren was in awe. All he could do was look at his feet in the sneakers and smile. He kept saying, "Thank you." After the pair left the store, the workers could not come to their senses for a long time. It was simply unforgettable. Such a seemingly simple act made the workers' day and changed Warren's life. The workers watched Warren and the foreigner out the window. They saw the boy tearing up and hugging the foreigner. Everyone was touched by the scene. The store owner even decided to give absolutely all buyers a 20% discount on all shoes on that day. Mark's post on social media and this whole story spread around the world very quickly. People liked and commented thousands of times. Everyone admired the foreigner's actions. The man himself was surprised that simply buying a pair of shoes for the boy caused such a stir because he did not consider his actions to be heroic. He said, "If each one of us would do little things, then the whole world would become a better place in less than a year. Be grateful and kind, and you will notice how much your life will change. Later, reporters from a local news channel wanted to interview the man who bought Warren the sneakers. But surprisingly, he said no. He said, "I am not a public figure, and I don't like cameras. I simply think that we should be kinder. If it wasn't for people's ambivalence, the boy would have had a pair of shoes a long time ago."